Imagine giving your whole life to the people you love, only to spend your 85th birthday listening to a ticking clock instead of a ringing phone. That was Martha's reality. A small cottage on the edge of town. A long, unforgiving winter, and not a single child at her door. She had raised 3 kids with scraped knuckles and empty pockets. School fees paid, dreams funded, futures secure. Every overtime shift, every skipped vacation, every coin saved had gone into building their tomorrow. But when her savings shrank and her health began to falter, their visits vanished like smoke in cold air. Calls stopped. Doors stayed closed. Silence moved in. Only one heartbeat remained loyal. A massive orange cat named Barnaby. And this is where the story stops being sad and starts being unbelievable. Because winter didn't just arrive, it attacked. Snow buried the porch. Wind rattled the windows like it wanted inside. The heater coughed its final breath. The pantry shelves began to look suspiciously decorative. Pride kept her quiet. She told no one. No neighbors. No distant relatives. Not even the children who had conveniently forgotten her number. Then the power died. Darkness swallowed the cottage whole. Her breath turned visible in the air. The room felt like a freezer with wallpaper. And that's when Barnaby changed. Instead of curling at her feet like he had for years, he leapt off the bed. He scratched at the floorboards. Loud, wild, relentless. He yelled like an alarm siren that refused to shut off. Martha tried to hush him. He bit her sleeve, tugged hard. Again and again. He wasn't panicking. He was insisting. And somehow, in that freezing darkness, she understood. Step by painful step, she followed the cat into the old cellar she hadn't entered in years. Barnaby pawed at a loose stone near the wall. Martha knelt, her hands trembling, and pulled at a rusted iron ring embedded in the floor. A hidden compartment swung open. Inside wasn't treasure, it was survival. Stacks of seasoned firewood, boxes of canned food. Emergency supplies her late husband had hidden decades ago during another harsh winter scare. Enough to keep her warm, enough to keep her fed, enough to keep her alive. That cat had just saved her life. But if you think that's the miracle, wait. 3 days later, while the snow still fell like it had a personal grudge against the world, Barnaby slipped through the small cat flap and vanished into the storm. Hours passed. The sky darkened. Martha feared she had lost the only creature who had stayed. Then he returned, dragging something heavy, a soaked leather satchel. When she opened it, her jaw dropped. Inside were legal documents, the original deed to the cottage, and a protected trust fund her husband had created for her care. Documents her children had claimed were lost. Documents that proved the house could never be sold while she was alive. There was more. A small tracker device was hidden inside Barnaby's collar. One of her children had placed it there months ago not to protect the cat, but to monitor whether Martha was still active in the house. They had been waiting for silence, waiting for her to disappear so they could claim the property. But Barnaby's return changed everything. Authorities intervened. The documents exposed the deception. The trust was restored. The scheme collapsed. And here's the twist that lingers long after the snow melts. The only creature who never abandoned her was the one without a single word to speak. Today, Martha is warm, safe, secure. The cottage is renovated. The heating system hums steadily. And Barnaby, local legend, now naps like a king beside the fireplace he helped save. Family may walk away. Money may disappear. Strength may fade. But loyalty sometimes arrives on 4 paws. So here's my question for you. If the world turned its back on you, who would still show up? And would you recognize the hero if it wasn't wearing a cape but whiskers? If this story moved you, share it. Someone out there needs to believe that loyalty still exists. And if you love stories where the smallest heroes make the biggest difference, you already know what to do. See you in the next one.